Am I the asshole for dating a girl's sister after she initially showed interest in me? So I, 20M, have been friends with 19F Miranda for close to 6 months. We initially met in a study group for a college physics class, but became study buddies and friends on our own. About a month ago, she invited me to party at her place to celebrate her dog turning 1. I literally just think she wanted an excuse to throw a party, lol. During that party, I met her sister, Christine, 21F. When I say I was absolutely charmed and smitten by Christine, I mean it. She's so pretty, and we had so many of the same nerdy interests. It felt like we could talk for hours. We exchanged numbers and Instagrams and continued talking. Over the following days, I started hanging out with Christine one on one. I mustered up the courage to ask her out, and she said yes. We went on a date to the aquarium, and we had a blast. We are now officially dating. Here's where the problem comes in. I knew recently Miranda started developing some feelings for me. Some mutual friends told me. We have just been friends up until this point. I haven't really had time to explore my own feelings for Miranda up until the party with finals and working full time. However, upon meeting Christine, I knew I just wanted to keep it platonic. Miranda has taken my new relationship with Christine about me as well as, well, about as well as a young woman whose sister took the boy she likes. Not great. She's been ice cold to me, and Christine told me things have been a little frosty at home for her as well. Supposedly, Miranda never told Christine about her crush on me. I asked Christine if it bothered her that I might be interfering with their sisterly relationship, and she just said, "Nope, you're cute, finders keepers." I asked Miranda and other mutual friends, and they pretty much all unanimously think that I'm the asshole who shouldn't have made a pass at Christine. I don't know. I just felt so attracted to her in a way I wasn't to Miranda. I feel like I need a perspective that's not invested in me or Miranda. Am I the asshole? So the general question that I have with this is I don't really understand why Miranda is so upset with them when she didn't indicate any romantic feelings to Christine or to you as far as we know. I honestly think Miranda's being pretty selfish with the situation, and you should probably sit down with Christine and talk to her about it. Help evaluate her relationship with Miranda and see what you guys can do to create a more peaceful future for this. Also, definitely keep your friends out of it too. It'll make it a lot less messy. But yeah, I think sitting and talking it out with both Christine and Miranda would definitely help a lot. But no, I do not think that you are the asshole. Am I the asshole for shoveling snow into my neighbor's driveway? I, 18F, just recently started taking up more chores around the house since I'm going off to college soon. My mom has arthritis, so I decided I would go outside to shovel our driveway and sidewalks so that she wouldn't have to do it. After spending hours in the cold, I got an offer from my neighbor to shovel his driveway for $20. I agreed and started shoveling after taking a quick break in my house to warm up and relax my muscles, which have been sore for weeks. When I was done shoveling my neighbor's driveway, he invited me into his house, which I declined immediately because I barely even knew him, and as sure as hell didn't trust him enough, especially since I left my phone in my house. When I declined, he decided he wasn't going to pay me the $20 he promised, so I decided to push the snow back into his driveway. Am I the asshole? Well, you are definitely not the asshole because this dude is super creepy. Making you go into his house to pay you, that's like beyond sus. I also definitely think you should tell somebody, either your parents or if you deem it necessary, the police. But either way, this guy's a creep. You're not the asshole, and definitely stay away from him in the future. Am I the asshole for cutting contact with my mother over repeatedly not respecting mine and my wife's wishes with our 3-month-old child? So to begin, my wife, 24F, and myself, 26M, welcomed a beautiful, happy, and healthy baby girl into the world this last September. Congratulations. She's everything we could have ever dreamed of and more out of a child. Sleeps all night, never cries, and always has a big, beautiful, gummy smile on her face. We do have some rules, however, because thankfully my income has allowed my wife to be able to quit her job and become a full-time stay-at-home mom. But with that comes its own host of issues due to my work schedule. I work 12-hour swing shifts and work every other Friday through Sunday also. With that, I also flip-flop from days to nights every 2 weeks and follow the same schedule. Also, my wife had just underwent gallbladder surgery last week as well, so more often than not, unless I am home, my wife takes care of our home, keeping it immaculate, cooking dinners, making lunches for me for work, caring for our child, while I go out to work and provide a living for us. And of course, when I'm home, I always give her a break and take over the house chores and baby duty so she can finally rest. Because of our busy schedules, we have made a very solid rule for visiting us and our daughter. Simply call about a half hour or so ahead of time to give us time to get dressed or look presentable for guests, family, friends, etc. And the one person who believes that this rule doesn't apply to them is my wonderful mother. My mother has continued to defy this rule and is angry that she cannot just pop by and see us and the baby whenever she pleases. We have told her that, especially when I work nights, not to come unannounced because we have two small dogs as well and they bark at every sound outside. Due to this, we put them in the bedroom with me while I sleep during the day so they hear less noise throughout the day and I can sleep. But my wonderful mother still disregards this rule and knocks on our front door like the county sheriff serving a search warrant. Well, today was the final straw that broke the camel's back. I woke up a little early this evening to help my wife clean bottles, wash dishes, clean other things, etc. And our daughter was giving signs that she was getting hungry. So while she continued to wash the remaining bottles, I warmed up a bottle from the fridge and began to feed her. Upon placing the bottle on her mouth, my wife's phone dinged, and guess who it was? My mother. A simple text that read, "Is my son asleep?" To which I simply replied to her, "No," and she quickly replied, "Can we come and see you guys?" And before I even picked up the phone to reply, guess who was in our driveway? My wife and I exchanged an "Are you serious?" look with one another, and I asked my wife if she was okay with this, to which she said, "It can't be long because we still have a lot of cleaning to do before you leave for work, but I'm okay with it this time if you are." And I begrudgingly replied to my mother with, "Yes, that's fine." So I reached my arm around the couch and opened the front door from where I was sitting. And I wish I was kidding. No sooner than it took to send the text, she backs out of my driveway and simply texts, "Bye, love y'all," to which my wife and I were absolutely confused why she would now leave. So I tried to call, and go figure, no answer. So after my wife and I both trying her phone and my stepdad's phone, which we decided to leave it be, until about 8 o'clock tonight. I called and immediately jumped straight to the point and asked her, "Why did you ask to come to see us and just turn around and leave?" To which she replied, "Nobody wanted to come greet us, so we didn't get out of the car." And I informed her that wife was busy washing dishes and I was busy feeding our daughter. You could just walk in since I told you that it was fine for you to come see us. And her reply was, "I watched wife walk into the kitchen and not even open the door for us." My reply was, "You have never cared about that before from the multiple occasions of you springing by the house without prior notice, like we've asked you, and every single other person to do, and you keep thinking this rule doesn't apply to you." Her reply, "A grandmother doesn't need to give notice to see her child and grandchild." I laughed and replied, "I think you're not understanding that this is our home. You don't get to come by whenever and not say anything prior. It's very inconsiderate and rude to wife and myself." Her reply, "I just don't understand why that's such a big deal for the two of you." I proceeded to lose it, admittedly. I said, "Look, I don't know who you think you are, but this is our home and our place of peace. And because you have proven time and time again that you cannot follow very simple instructions, I'm going to ask that you please not come and see us until you can follow this one singular, simple rule that we have in our home and not yours." She, of course, scoffed and said, "This is ridiculous, and you're so immature for having such an outlandish rule in your house." So I replied, "Look, don't bother contacting at all. You can't seem to respect your own son's wishes, and you have absolutely no regard or respect for me at all. I love you, mother, but I have to draw a line somewhere, and this is it." And I promptly hung up the phone. Part of me feels like I may have been too harsh, but also another part of me feels like I did the right thing and made the right choice. My mother has a long history with construing what people have said to her to always paint her as the good guy and give off the "can do no wrong" type vibe on every situation she happens to find herself in. But in reality, she gaslights or manipulates everyone that does not agree with her or goes against her or disagrees with her in any way. So, am I the asshole? So, there's a bit to break down with this one, but congrats on the poster for standing up for himself and his family. Being strict with family is never an easy situation, and I believe he handled it perfectly. Her complaining about hospitality is hilarious considering her just complete lack of respect for you and your wife. Needless to say, you being in the middle of all your chores and handling the baby while your mom is concerned about you rolling out the red carpet and like prepping her for her entrance, it's ridiculous. It's insane. And you definitely did the right thing there by not going to the door and entertaining her nonsense. But yes, 1000% not the asshole. You handled your situation great. Keep it up. Am I the asshole for taking back an invitation for my brother and his girlfriend to stay with us because he told me his girlfriend has a criminal record? My wife and I invited my brother, who I haven't seen in a while, and his girlfriend, who we haven't met yet, to stay with us for a week. During this week, we would be able to catch up with him and get to know the girlfriend. All of us were excited and looking forward to it. Last week, he called me and told me that he knew it was a stupid question, but he just needed to confirm that it didn't bother us that his girlfriend had a criminal record. This was the first I had heard about any criminal record. My first question was why he didn't tell me before. He said he knew it didn't matter and I wouldn't care, but his girlfriend wanted him to make sure. I asked what she did, and he told me that that was personal. I said I was annoyed he waited so long to tell me, and I would like to know what she did. He refused to answer and said it wasn't anything violent or anything I had reason to be concerned about. I asked if she stole something. He said no. I then asked him to clarify. So is this just a ticket? Did she go to prison? What's the severity range? He told me none of that was any of my business, so I needed to stop asking. I said that I don't feel comfortable with her staying here anymore. If I had already met her, or if he was willing to give me more information, it would be different. With the current information, I'm not comfortable. My brother was pissed, and said he didn't even have to tell me. He only did it because his girlfriend suggested it out of respect. I said she's right. If he hadn't told me, that would have been disrespectful and duplicitous. He said that since she's right, I should let her stay. I said I would talk to my wife and get back to him. My wife said no way. She said we would minimum need to know the crime and have already met her before she would be comfortable with her staying in our home. I called my brother back the next day and I told him. He said that the case was a minor one and she was charged for withholding evidence. My wife asked to know the details when I told her this so she could look up the case. She wanted the county and the girlfriend's last name. When I called my brother Friday to ask for this info, he was pissed. I said my wife just wanted to check and make sure that what he said was true, and she wanted to know what she was withholding evidence of. He said we were being nosy and pretentious, and looking down on his girlfriend for something outside of her control, and he called us bigots. I suggested that they just get a hotel, and we could host them for dinners, but not overnight. He said no, that they would cancel their flights. I feel bad, and so does my wife. She tried to call my brother yesterday to smooth things over, but he didn't answer. I'm stuck on what to do. I think only an apology and offer to stay would mollify him, but my wife is not comfortable with this unless she knows what sort of case his girlfriend was involved in. Are we being assholes? I don't think you guys are being assholes because this situation just sounds really suspicious. Your brother keeps insisting that it's a minor criminal case, but yet he refuses to say anything about it. It's just weird and it seems just kind of suspicious. It's almost like the criminal record isn't the main issue in this scenario because it feels like if the brother would just say what it is and wouldn't withhold the information, it would have been a lot less of a scenario. On the other hand, though, him insisting that it's a minor situation and refusing to elaborate seems like he's really downplaying it, and that maybe if he did tell you what happened, you wouldn't be comfortable having his girlfriend over. Just because she's out and free and the crime seems minor definitely doesn't mean that it is. And you're definitely in the right for wanting to know more about her and about her situation before letting her into your home. Until you 100% know what the situation is and what she did, I think you're doing the right thing by not letting her into your home. And I think it was nice of you to even invite them over for dinner. Thank you guys for watching. This was my first video like this. Let me know if you guys want to see more.